Hey, hello there, and welcome to the Mindset Alchemy podcast. I'm Janine, and I'm absolutely delighted to have you here. Life is life, and life has ways of throwing interesting curveballs at us. Life also has a way of bringing wonderful things to us. And it's when we allow it that we get to see the difference and we get to work with it in different ways. My husband and I recently, there was a long weekend, and we had the most glorious time doing things differently because we decided that we can either just exist in life or we can live in life. And because we have certain goals, certain intentions, certain dreams, we chose to start doing small things towards it. We've always been doing this, and yet this weekend it was something different. And I really love the wildflowers, the nature, and all things beautiful. And he heard about a wildflower show near us. Well, not it's quite it's about an hour and a bit's drive from us. So off we went and we explored the day. And he was very generous with being with me, having time, because it's more my interest than his interest. And yet, he also loves nature. He also enjoys it. We just see it differently. And this was a great lesson. I loved the colors, the feelings, the energy of it. He loved the way they put the art, put it together in the most artful way, and yet it was as though you were in the fields looking at the flowers and experiencing it. And even as we drove, we saw the kestrels and no, they were kites. We saw the kites soaring high in the sky and the change in the scenery around us and the way it works. Now, I know many people are disinterested in that, and yet there are others that are. What for me was so powerful was we each found something that fed our souls in what we were looking at simultaneously. I really enjoyed the beautiful arum lilies he bought me, and they are currently sitting proudly in front of me as I record this podcast. And something while I was exploring the flowers and just sharing the beauty and learning more about it and tapping into it energetically came forward to me around intuition. When we align with our purpose and we start listening to that inner voice inside of us, it actually helps us move beyond logic and still work with the logic. So we intuitively can feel and see and understand. We hear that whisper, and then we start saying, well, what's the next best step? And using our logic to put it in place. So we work synergistically with it. We hear what intuition would like us to know. We can work with it more confidently, and then we can apply the logic of, well, what's the next best step? Again, intuition will come in and say, work with this, try this. And logic comes in and says, okay, this is a, you've got the best way of doing it. Let's see how we structure it and work with it. So we work with ourselves in different ways. So just like my husband and I enjoyed what we were both seeing in different ways and took different things away from it, so we get to work with our intuition. We get to understand that our past experiences can shade it, that our the future we're looking for can also impact it, and that this is okay. We get to work with it in the way that is aligned with our gifts, our skills, our talents. On a side note, I know how many times I have said, I have no idea how to do this. What would it look like or feel like, or what would the experience be if I did know how to do it? And all of a sudden, I'll get an answer, and then I'll start applying it and I'll start working with it. Wow, how does life get any better than this? It has helped me resolve so many issues. I still remember the number of podcasts I recorded with my microphone. And then when I went to play them back, there was, in inverted commas, no sound. The one day I did a really, really good recording for one of my courses, and I went, you know what? I am so unavailable to delete this. Please show me what I'm to do to hear the sound of it. And those of you who know me know technology is, I'm fascinated with it and I'm learning more about it. It sometimes stumps me beyond anything else. So I was very grateful for my intuition and my divine team showing me what to do. There was a setting that when I plugged the mic in, it blocked the speakers. And I have discarded, I cannot even tell you, countless recordings, podcasts, program recordings, because I forgot to ask, well, what do I do about this? Where can I fix this? How do I sort this? And then applied the logic of it that, well, there must be settings somewhere. I had the flash. Look at settings. Well, where are the settings? So logically, I went and found the settings. Let me tell you, intuitively, I also found the settings on the computer. It was more intuition than logic. And the most important thing about working with one of the important things about working with our intuition is being able to make better choices, to make choices that align with our core values and what we value in life. And when we make our decisions in alignment with what is authentic and valued by us, rather than what's practical and appears to be the best choice, it's incredible what unfolds. What it does is it helps us to lead ourselves in a far, far more effective way because we're using our strengths. We are tapping in and collaborating with other people so that their strengths can augment ours. And it helps us to build resiliency so that when things appear risky, we have built up that trust in ourselves so that we are able to trust what's coming forward and say, well, when I did this, I listened last time, things resolved themselves. So we are able then to take, again, in inverted commas, something that feels risky. And it turns out it's the best thing that it could ever have happened. The risk was part of ego keeping us safe. It was part of other people's points of view. I often referred to as the committee of they, and I've learned to avoid the committee of they. I will listen, I will hear, and then I will say, okay, soul, okay, body, okay, divine team, what is the most aligned thing to do here? Many times through hearing what has been presented to me, I can see what is out of alignment with my values and what I value, and what can help me with what my intuition and my divine team are working with me on. So, people, today I'm asking you to hear and to feel and to sense that very soft, small whisper that comes forward, that when people that's the inner intuition. Listen to what your body is saying. This morning, when I was journaling, something came up and my entire gut area went squeak. And I went, all right, where's the fear here? What is the treasure in it? And where can I move forward from it? Where is it showing me that I'm holding myself back? I'm avoiding the, again, inverted commas, the risk factor. I'm looking to stay safe rather than to do what is in alignment. We cleared that, we journaled on that, and then intuition showed me a better way forward with it. I find affirmations and mantras really, really help me, especially very often I'll start saying things and then I'll say, well, what does it look like for all of life to love me? Where can I experience it? Where have I experienced it? How can life get any better than this? What am I resisting in what is here? What can I celebrate that's here? And it helps me to explore at a much deeper level, which again helps me tune into my intuition and begin to trust the process of it unfolding also at a deeper level. Now, my question is, have you experienced this and have you put your courage on, stepped into the courageous self and started exploring what might feel tight in your body, what might feel heavy, that your throat feels like it's choking you, it's closing you? So where are you possibly resisting your truth, what is true for you, because you would like to please others and work with their truth rather than your truth? Remember, we can collaborate with each other even when our truths appear different, because we can then energetically create a third truth that can be more expansive for both of us, because we shift our perspective, we shift our point of view, and because we're both working in alignment with what is intuitively coming forward and aligned for us, we can create at a much deeper level and expand in the consciousness rather than stay stuck in a lower vibrational consciousness. We can actually expand our consciousness, and that thus we actually create intentionally and choose consciously what we're going to create. And this then has the result of allowing us to be effortlessly, because things flow. Yes, again, we get to put the work in, and yet we get to flow with what's coming forward. It's as though the pieces of the puzzle just drop into place. It is just so incredible how this happens. Again, my question to you is, where have you learned to distrust yourself? And was it yourself you were distrusting, or was it the part of you that would like to please others, that would like to feel that was feeling unsafe, and so you felt that by keeping stuck and avoiding your intuition, you would feel safer? People, it feels very unsafe to stay stuck. It may be comfortable. It still has a lot of feeling of feeling unsafe. Very often we step back to avoid tension, and that is the time we push in. We ask, soul, what would you like me to do today? What am I to do with this body? What is the best way of dealing with this? Divine team, where can you guide me through this? And then listen for the answers, because the tension pulls us forward. It allows us, as we step forward, to release the tension builds up. We create from that tension rather than stepping back, staying in the tension, staying in the feeling of feeling unsafe. Remember, expand your comfort zone, stretch your comfort zone, feel stretched while you listen to your intuition and work with what is a deep core value for you. For me, peacefulness, solitude, quietness, I value it. The core value is peace. I can find peace in the midst of a roaring city because I've learned how to do it. I tune into my intuition to be able to do it, and I work with the energy of it. So it's almost like being in the eye of the storm, almost, I would say. Thank goodness I have been able to avoid having that physical experience. I've heard other people talk about it. Although, having said that, we have had some humdingers of thunderstorms here where I live, well, where I used to live. I'm uncertain of what the relevance of that was to working with the intuition, but it doesn't matter. If you find relevance to you, please let me know. So people, understand that as you work with your intuition, it helps you build trust, it helps you build courage, it helps you to see things that appear risky and to move beyond it. And very importantly, it helps you to show up more authentically with who you are, what your purpose is, and to lead yourself personally through better ways of achieving your dreams, developing resiliency, communicating more effectively, and working with the energies that are of the highest of integrity, intention, greatest of good, and deepest of love. I've said it before. I have a mentor who, when we ask her about things, she says, apply more love. What is the more loving thing to do here? What is the best and most loving choice to have here? And go, goodness gracious me, let's go and explore that effectively and authentically. And then we step forward into it. People, if you'd like to know more about working with me, reach out. I also have a wonderful program called Thinking by Design, which is an entry-level way of allowing yourself to choose your thoughts more consciously so that you can understand the difference between what is coming from ego and what is coming from soul. So if you'd like to know more, reach out and let's chat. In the meantime, have a grand, glorious day, being curious, exploring, and allowing yourself to lead yourself into that deeper level of success. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.